You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Folks, prosecutors dismissed charges against a black woman in a wrongful police stop. Juanisha Brooks was physically pulled from her car by State Trooper Robert Hindenlang. His reason, her taillights were out. When asked why she was stopped, Hindenlang told Brooks to step out of her car. Watch this.
Looks like he's finally stopped on Oakwood Drive.
Hello. Can I see your driver's license, vehicle registration, please?
Sure. What made you pull me over?
Can you step out here? I'll show you.
Why am I stepping out the car?
I'll show you what's wrong with your car.
You can tell me from in here?
Huh?
I said you can tell me from in here. I don't really want to step outside my car.
Okay, I need you to step out of the car. Need you to step out of the car?
For what?
Because I need you to step out of the car because you took off from me on a traffic stop.
I didn't realize. I thought you were.
Are you not going to step out of the car?
No, I thought you were emergency. I thought you were like a.
Can you take your seatbelt off for me, please, ma'am?
I thought you were a. What's it called? I thought you were an ambulance or something. That's why I was trying to get out of the way at first. I didn't know.
Okay, can you step out of the car again for me, please? I'm asking you a second time.
You call my sister.
Ma'am, I need you to step out of the car.
I'm not having a panic attack. I don't want to step out of the car.
Ma'am, I'm asking you nicely to step out of the car, please. You're being visually and audibly recorded for your protection. The subject's refusing to get out of the car. Ma'am, do I have to remove you from the car?
Please don't do that. I work for the Department of Defense. I don't want you to...
Ma'am, step out of the car. Step out of the car.
Not do this.
Step out of the car, ma'am.
What are you doing?
This car apart.
Please stop.
Step out.
Please
Hold up.
stop. What are you doing?
Step out. Step out.
What did I do?
Step out. Step out.
What are you doing?
Don't grab me.
I'm
Don't
not
grab me.
grabbing you. Are you kidding? Give me my phone back.
Stop.
What are you doing?
Stop.
Stop. Stop.
Stop.
What are you doing?
Stop.
Oh my God, you're hurting me. Get off.
Stop.
Get off. Get off of me. Give me my phone back. What are you doing? Ma'am, what is happening?
You're being detained
I
right
don't
now.
have any. What? You're not reasoning my rights. You're not saying anything. Why are you crying? What are you doing? What are you doing?
You took off from me after you stopped.
Because I thought you were like an ambulance or something.
So you pulled back out in front of me. You pulled back in front of me. Do you have an ID on you?
I was on the highway. I've never gotten pulled over on the highway before.
Do you have your driver's license?
Car.
Don't stand here. Don't move.
It's the Department of Defense for your intelligence community. Like, what are you doing? Stay right here. What are you doing? I'll report you to the general.
Everything's being real.
Like, are you serious?
Can you hold her?
I have no
Hold her arm.
charges ever in my life.
Okay, that's being recorded, everything you've done. Number one, you don't have any taillights on your vehicle. Number two, you were following two cars at about 55 miles per hour, 2 car lengths off of them. Number three, you pulled over and then took off again. You failed to yield to my vehicle. I asked you to step out of the car so you wouldn't take off again. You refused to get out of the car. I had to pull you out of the car.
You pulled me out. You didn't even give me enough time to get out of the car, and I was afraid. I've never been pulled over by the cops like this or handcuffed. I pulled back because I didn't know you were pulling me over on the highway. I've never been pulled over on the highway like that. First, I thought it was an emergency vehicle, so I'm trying to figure out what to do. Do I get over on this side? And then I get over, and then the other car in front of me got over too, and then they went back. I didn't know. Usually if you're getting pulled over, I thought it would be some announcement. I didn't know that I was being pulled over. And that's why I got off the highway. Was I supposed to stop?
Why are your eyes so watery when I pulled up?
Why are my eyes watering?
Yeah.
Because people have been shot by the police. I'm freaking nervous.
But I thought you said you thought it was an ambulance.
After you came, that's why when you pulled me over, I realized now. But when I was on the highway, it looked as though it was an ambulance. All I saw was red lights. I did not know what it was. was.
Okay.
No one said pull over. No one said step. Like, if you would have said pull over, I would have known you were the police.
Okay.
I've never gotten pulled over like this. I don't know what to do on the highway.
Okay, when's the last time you had something to drink?
When's the last time? Probably like 2 hours ago.
Okay. How much did you have to drink?
Just one regular cocktail.
Okay. You know what time you had that?
It was 2 hours ago.
Okay, you know what time it is now?
It's around 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
Okay. All right. Would you have any problem doing some sobriety tests to be sure you're okay to drive?
No, I don't want to take a sobriety
Okay.
test.
All right. Would you be willing to take a preliminary breath test?
No.
Okay.
376.
Okay. Walk with me, please, ma'am.
What's happening?
We got to go down and take a test. I'll read all that information just momentarily.
Am I arrested?
You're under arrest right now for driving under the influence and failing to yield for me.
So if we go back and there is no driving under the influence, which
Yeah.
it isn't, then I won't be under
You'll be
arrest.
issued the summons for the traffic offenses, and the magistrate will make the determination from there.
The officer, again, believed that Brooks was driving under the influence. She took 2 breathalyzer tests. Her blood alcohol level, 0 both times. Now, check this out. After that didn't fly, the cop then charged her with resisting arrest, eluding police, failing to have her headlights on, and reckless driving. After prosecutors viewed the dashcam video, they determined the stop was without proper legal basis, dismissed all charges, and called for an internal investigation conducted by state police. But here's the other thing, Mustafa, that's important here with this story here. The state law was changed specifically to stop cops from pulling people over for taillight infractions. Why? Because they concluded that this is exactly why officers were stopping black folks disproportionately. So the officer actually was in violation of the law because he was ignoring the law that was actually passed. And this was precisely why.
Mm-hmm. So it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out and what charges are brought against him or fines are brought against this individual. And folks should also take a look and see if he has a record of these types of, pulling folks over and that type of thing. We know that there have been police departments across the country, and there are studies that verify this, that have used being able to pull folks over to actually fill their coffers. So I'm not saying that that was what this situation was. We also understand this power dynamic that goes on. When black folks and brown folks get pulled over, we're never given the benefit of the doubt, even in the tiniest of infractions. And then folks allow these types of situations to escalate. And I don't blame the system for being nervous. We've seen time and time again how these types of situations can play out in a very deadly fashion for far too many folks. So, her being nervous makes sense. And him not actually, and this is the other thing, Roland, that I still haven't been able to get my mind around. If a police officer pulls you over, he should just tell you, this is why I'm pulling you over. At least then the person will have a better understanding of what's going on in that situation. But this is why many of these police departments have to change. And they're not going to change usually just because, they finally have this epiphany that the things that they've been doing have been detrimental to our communities.
And Benjamin, he comes up and she's like, "Why are you pulling me over? Step out of the car." She's like, "No, it's nighttime. I don't know what the hell you doing." And so her deal is, "I am safer in my car." But then he insists, "No, get out of your car. Get out of your car. Get out of your car." I need everybody to understand this is and this is the thing I need people to understand. What you saw here was exactly what happened with Sandra Bland. Mm-hmm. The moment the cop said, "I need you to get out of the car," and the person says no, that's when they get you on resisting arrest. Because because the law says when you have been given a quote lawful command by an officer, you are to obey it even if you disagree with the command. And and every one of these cops, that's what they use to get folks. It's sort of like when the prosecutors couldn't get Al Capone on murder, they got him on tax evasion.
Roland, the first thing that came to mind was Sandra Bland, because this is exactly this type of scenario. I think Sandra didn't make a proper right-hand turn or left-hand turn with a signal, something ridiculous.
No. You see, Sandra did the same thing she did. Sandra was trying to get out of his way. And when he pulls over, she said, you were all up on me, following me. I was trying to get out of your way. And he's like, oh, no, you didn't use your turn signal. I'm trying to get out of your way.
Absolutely. And it's that justification. It's they look for anything they possibly can to pull us over. That's the point. They absolutely look for anything they can to pull us over. But also what was happening in that clip was he was looking for any opportunity he could to escalate. He took everything that she said and twisted it. He took her simple request to ask, why am I being pulled over, which is a standard question that they should be prepared to answer. And he escalated, said, well, get out of the car and I'll show you why. And every turn he looked to escalate it, looking for a way to find something to pin on her. And this is what we have with police officers too often, Roland. If you have the unmitigated gall to just simply ask why I have been pulled over, they do not like that question. They want their authority to go unchallenged in that moment. And so he took every opportunity he could to escalate that situation, and all of those so-called good cops are standing around watching him, knowing full well what he was doing was not right, was not proper, and could have led to something far more worse than it already did. And so it's just another testament to how often this happens, but also how they just don't see us as human. I'm sorry, you don't do this to people if you see them as equal to you, equal to your partner, to your spouse, to your wife, this was a woman in the late evenings, and he took it upon himself to violate her in this way. And that's because this country has a history of dehumanizing black people, and we're still dealing with it in the year of our Lord 2021.
And Kelly, again, luckily this Fairfax County prosecutor dropped all charges and then took it further by saying this cop needs to be checked for his actions against this woman and what he put her through.
Frankly, I'm just glad that this young woman is alive, because like Benjamin and even Mustafa implied, it could have gone so many different ways. She could have been the next Sandra Bland. And, I live in D.C. The fact that this was in Virginia, this is one of the many reasons why I don't visit Virginia like that, because as far as I'm concerned, the entire state is a sundown town. And it's for reasons like this. You're talking about a situation in which she pulled over thinking that she was helping y'all out, trying to, bypass you guys into an emergency that was supposed to be happening. And that wasn't the case. And then it's 2:00 in the morning. There are stories in which you have fake cops on the road that late. We don't know, in her eyes, she doesn't know that you're an actual cop. You didn't identify yourself. You just go to her door and is asking for, her to get out the car. I didn't hear anything about license and registration until about 2-3 minutes into that tape. I didn't hear anything about why she was being pulled over until after they realized that she knew what her rights were, and they had to come up with some BS as to why she was pulled over in the first place. This is an incredibly scary situation for anybody, let alone a Black woman in Virginia, the capital of the Confederacy. People forget about that. She was out there alone in the capital of the Confederacy, and you got basically the equivalent of Klansmen, as far as I'm concerned, approaching her vehicle, telling her to get out. Yeah. That's scary.
Absolutely.
And then for them to not have a reason for her to be pulled over and coming up with things on the fly, and then the icing on the crappy cake, why are your eyes watering? I'm sorry, I think I'm about to die, sir. Because I'm not supposed to be pulled over. I'm trying to get home. I'm sober. I'm of sound mind. I know where I'm going. You don't. That's the problem.
Well, and this is one of the issues, again, that we face when the cops, they hold all of the power. All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. Hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you have, you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it. please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.